Hey, welcome back to my little wannabe farm that has just ducks and geese and a couple chickens. Today, oh boy, I gotta get a roof on that thing. Not that, of course. Thankfully, I have a caring and loving father who has roofing sheets for me. That's gonna make the process a lot easier for me. He just runs rid of it, so it's actually kind of doing him a favor. But of course, first, I gotta frame the rafters up, or whatever you want to call it. Which means this has to come down, because all the pieces that I'm using is going to be from there. I mean, that's where I've already gotten this piece and the other piece down there, since they're long enough. Because obviously pallet board kind of ain't very long. So in between that, got to do a little bit of reinforcement on this. I mean, it's been 2 weeks since I last worked on it, between the weather and me being sick. I didn't even get any more pallets torn apart, but that's fine. I did actually bring some more home, which is awesome. There is a few things I do want to touch up at some point in time today before I deal with the roof, but I have to go pick up the roof sheets. I did get a couple more pallets, not a whole lot more. There is one that's like this really super long boy. Right there it is. I think those are 8 foot. I don't know what I'm going to use it for, because if I'm using 2x3s from the fences to do the rafters, I might pull that one apart and use that for something else. I need something long to tie in together, wherever. But I got to get those unloaded so I can go get roofing sheets. And I need to organize this, because obviously with vehicles running in and out and pallet boards, that gets a little sketchy for the tires. Yes, let's go. Maybe.
Connected.
I don't need Bluetooth. Just to back up to beside those other pallets. This thing's kind of hard to see out of, but I love it. Yeah, she's a little cold-blooded too. That don't help. A little bit more. Beautiful. Right there. I'm an expert operator from way back, don't you know? I also got the birds a treat. I need to take care of that at some point in time. Actually, let's go do that now. Whoa! It was a ripped bag that was given to me for free. I don't know if it's okay to feed ducks and geese that, but I'd imagine that it's fine. Yeah! Let's go get some birds some food. Do you want some bird food? Well, you gotta come down here. Yeah, it's come. You want it? I'll just drop it there. Oh, here they come. Well, you can have it. I got it for free, so I'm giving it to you for free. Oh, they love it. Perfect. Geese! You want some food? Anyways, I guess I'll just dump it here for now. I do like to spread around their feet if I do give them extra, because that keeps in there clean, and with mice and everything, that becomes an issue. Alright, back to work. I know you guys can probably already tell, but I do not have the energy or the gumption that I typically do. Like I said, I've been sick and I'm kind of wore out. Today's like the first day I can feel myself being able to get outside and doing something. So, I don't know if I'm actually going to get the roof today, or a roof on it today. I might go get it, I just might not get it on. But that's alright. I got a couple days off work, so I'll have time, and that'll be awesome. I see they are loving their food. But I didn't see the other ones grab at their food that I gave them yet, so that's okay. It'll be there all day for them to eat. Oh, look at me. I left a wrench there. And I had an idea. I'm probably going to use like the poles as the poles for the actual run once that gets closed in, although that probably won't get closed in for a while. But like those edge slabs, I mean, this is spruce. You can't really use it for firewood, at least in a furnace. But these might be my boards for like the steps or inside where the roosting bars will be. I'll probably like split one of these small ones in half or into thirds, because I'd hate to see these boards go to waste. Or I really can't call them boards. Can't use them for firewood, and you can't really use them for dimensional wood. So steps and everything else. Well, thanks to my dad, I now have roof panels, and that's a complete whole other subject and topic. The bike's mine. I mean, it's been mine for years upon years now, but I need to get it running. If anybody knows what it is, maybe what year, throw it down in the comments. Obviously, you've seen the brand, but again, that's not really the scope of this channel, so I guess I'll get the roofing unloaded. And I don't know how much I'm going to do, because it's starting to snow, or at least it's calling for snow, and I've gotten a few flurries earlier, and it's a little bit of sleet here and there. So I may have to wait until tomorrow, but that's fine, because be honest with you, after loading all that, I am kind of out of energy. Thanks for being sick for the past week and a half, or whatever it was. Labor Bay! I'll chase her out myself. Oh, hey, there you are. Wondering where you all was hanging out for the past 2 days. I see you finally decided to come back. Well, there's been a change of plans. Even though it's a really nice day today, it's gonna get ugly tomorrow. Like, really ugly. Between 6 inches of snow. Oh wow, I've seen anywhere from 4 to 12. I'm just gonna say 6. But that's not the scary part. A little bit of snow don't scare me. Scary part is, it's supposed to be really, really windy tomorrow. So for me to go and start putting up a roof on the chicken house might not be a good idea. Because I might find if I throw a roof up today, come back tomorrow and see that it's no longer there, I wouldn't be too happy. So, 2 main projects now. I'm actually going to start the siding for the chicken house, so that it's kind of more rigid. So I guess that's the idea. Make it a little bit more rigid so it'll hold up, but I don't want to completely encase it, because then the same issue will happen just with the siding. But in the meantime, the fence behind me, it's got to come down. So I'm going to probably come up about not even 3 foot, like 2 foot worth on the siding. And after that, so a fence tear down. Sounds like a plan for today. And in the meantime, I don't know if you've already been hearing it, but I got fires to tend to. One fire over there, which you can't see because it's really tiny. And the chicken's like wanting to try to stay warm. I got a little fire going. And of course, so I can contain all the ash and nails, I got the rest of the fence boards burning in here. That's not what I want to do. What I want to do for this, at least the siding, is actually fairly simple. Although it's going to be really hard to show with only one hand. So I'm going to come along here with these pallet boards. Start one straight on the bottom. And then stack one on top of that. But have like an inch overhang on the next one down. So basically, if I stack them here, this is what you'll see from the side view, if that makes sense. Then anywhere that these aren't long enough, start a new stack of them, or especially on that wall. I want to get that wall done today. Where there's seams, just stack another one on there and then do another section of them. That seems like a good idea. Right, son? But I figured that'd be a better thing to do instead of putting a roof on if it's going to get really windy. Considering there isn't much kind of reinforcing the whole frame, the siding will kind of take place in extra studding. It'll draw everything to stay together. There, something to that effect. And of course on the side it'll look like that, but again there'll be another piece sitting here and there to tie everything together. It'll be all nice and sealed. Then eventually, once I get a little bit further, get it done, there'll be one that'll go on top of here just for the next run. But I've come to the realization that this is going to rely on finding all pieces that are exactly the same for one single row upwards. That might be a little bit difficult because thanks to pallets and their general sense, it's kind of hard to find them all the same length. And I just kind of realized I used my longest ones here, so I can only use that length here. Over there, I can use shorter and do like two rows or whatever. But now I got to find all the boards that are all the same length and run up. Maybe this wasn't a good idea after all. Or what I probably should have done is go ahead and get all the boards picked out for the siding and then mark them and cut them all to the same length. But who wants to do that? That sounds like more work than is necessary. But maybe I created more work. I don't know. Of course, I got all these boards here. All those boards there need to be picked through. And plus, all of them pallets over there. I had to stop because I just wanted to point out, if you guys are making anything out of pallet boards or whatnot, if you're doing a similar siding system as me, any rough spots, put on your top edge, as that'll get covered. And by rough spots, I mean if you got a board where one of the sides isn't very good, whether it's got a bunch of marks in it or whatnot, put them on the top side because they're actually going to get covered. Another thing to point out, right here down is going to be the door for the chickens. Now, if you're wondering why I'm walling it up, I figured it'd be easier to just go ahead and put this up, nail everything into place, and come in behind it and cut it with the circular saw straight down. Because it's actually going to be, the edge of the siding is going to be flush with this board anyways, and then there's going to be one going on top of it around the frame of the door, and that's actually what the door is going to get mounted to. So these boards, even though they don't have a lot of structural support, they're going to be kind of clamped into place by the boards that are going to be on top of it. And plus, there will be another board here clamping it. I also will come behind anywhere there is these spots where it's getting joined together on two different sections. Since the board's going to go on top of it, I ain't worried about a gap, since that's going to get covered. But there's also going to be a board on the back side too. That way, both sides are getting sandwiched into place, if that makes sense. And the same thing with like the corner. I don't have to come completely to the corner because there's going to be a board on top of it pushing that in. Again, sandwiching it into place. So everywhere is going to kind of have a lot of crimping force on top of it, plus the nails that are actually boarding in. That's also why I really ain't too concerned about these boards that start to bust when they go on. Even though my next board, I'm actually probably going to have to come down a little bit deeper than I want to. It'll be fine. Man, this is starting to look like progress. I don't know if I like that. Oh, it's going to be a lot of boards and a lot of nailing. And I know you guys are wondering, well, why don't I save these boards and use them since they're obviously longer? It'll be safer. I could, but the problem is a lot of these, when you try to pull them off, they don't really want to come off. They just bust. And the other fact is, these are actually even thinner than most of the pallet boards. And I kind of want to have a little bit more thicker boards. Then on top of it too, even though these have been painted, a lot of these already have some rot to it. And it's just, it's not a gamble that's really worth taking, I don't think. So, I hear the geese getting wound up. I love having them around. Life wouldn't be the same without them. I think I'm getting to a stopping point, and not because I want to, but because That little bogger of nails is what I got left. So I really can't put any more boards up. But it's kind of fun because I'm kind of running out of boards to select from. I know you're probably looking at it like, there's still like 2 dozen of boards there. Most of what's left is like them boards that are out of some really hard wood and it's almost impossible to drive a nail through. They're not going to get used for that, which is fine because I got pallets to tear apart. And coming down to the fact that I also am running out of nails. However, I do believe I got myself a pretty good starting spot or stopping spot, whatever it may be. And one thing I've noticed is this thing is like starting to become really firm. This thing is starting to become like really secure. Like you can grab a board and like start trying to grab it and shake it. It doesn't really move much anymore. Before, like the whole structure would move a little bit. Nothing too concerning, but yeah, it don't move now. So that makes me kind of confident in its ability to not do anything during the storm. In between this episode and next, I probably going to start tearing down that fence. I'll get around to start tearing pallets apart because I kind of have no choice as I'm out of lumber. Again, I still do have some boards, but it's really nice to have a selection because some of the boards I have now can still be used, but you kind of have to use them in specific spots, if that makes sense. I don't like the idea of drilling holes for siding just to nail it on. So a lot of them harder boards might just be saved for something else. I don't know. I'm probably really bright right now because I am in the sun's direct rays. I don't think watching me do siding is going to be the most exhilarating thing in the world, same with tearing down the fence. So a lot of that's going to be done off camera, and plus that also makes it easier for me to do it, partly because I forget to do camera things. I just want to get started and get it all up. But I'll keep y'all posted, and if y'all want to take a guess in the comments of actually what I'll do next episode, go ahead. So either siding, nesting box, or roofing, or something completely else, which is an entire possibility, say it down in the comments. I'll see y'all in the next one. Okay, I thought I was done, but I stopped recording, and then I decided I better go get feed before the feed mill shuts down, and plus with the storm coming, and I checked my mail. I'm really excited. I got a hat. It says silly goose on the loose. I love it. Okay, see you in the next one.